All right, welcome to the special edition of TVC Breakfast. We're looking at 1 year in office of the president. That's the current administration. But let's begin this way. In the last 365 days, Nigeria has undergone many changes. Whether they have been good or bad will depend on who you're asking. One thing is clear, we are not where we were compared to May the 29th, 2023. Today marks the first anniversary of President Bola Tinubu and for many other state governors. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on this special edition of TVC Breakfast. I'm Veronica Danik Boy. Joining me this morning is Sam Omashe, essayist, columnist, TV host. I can go on. Good morning, sir.
Go on. Good morning.
And we also have Ibrahim Shita joining me this morning. Ibrahim.
Good morning to you. That's principle of partiality.
Okay.
So what about my own designation? You're supposed to read it out.
TVC, anchor. What more should I add?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Anyway, it's 1 year already, and there's so much to say, Sam. There are those who are already comparing notes when you talk about May 29, 2023, and where we are right now, 2024, when you compare it alongside the promises the president made towards Nigerians in his renewed hope agenda. How far have we come from your perspective?
Well, it has been a year of storms and promise. You can say that he made promises and he has been fulfilling them. He said he was going to collapse the foreign exchange regime. He has done it. He said he was going to remove fuel subsidy. He has done it. He said he was going to give student loans and set it in motion. He said he was going to create a credit scheme. He has done it. Yeah. He said he was going to use technology for, for transportation. I think the CNG thing is taking place today. Yeah. He has said so many basic things that he wanted to do. Well, there was also the promise that these things were going to take a lot of pains. But when you tell somebody that somebody who has injured his foot, and you tell him that the thing is going to pain you, well, you know that you still have to go and, in those days they used to put peroxide. When they put peroxide, you see the foam like this. Even the foam itself is more painful. It's more scary than the pain. I remember when I was in Ibadan, there was one guy a rough guy who injured his foot and. In the compound in Ibadan, and they had to apply, what do they call it? There was one brown thing in those days they used to use, I've forgotten. Is it
iodine?
Iodine. And the guy started speaking in tongues. He said, poor mommy, poor. What is poor? He had lost. He said, but when the thing happened to him, he knew he had to go through it. Yeah. But later he started jumping and playing soccer after it was healed. So that is what we're going through. We've seen the inflation go up, and the real thing many people are complaining about is the inflation.
Absolutely.
Food inflation especially.
And also food security.
And food, yes. When there's food inflation, you have a problem with food security. Yeah. And part of the problem is twofold. One is that the palliative program is still dogged with bureaucracy.
Right.
Because of the Better Edu scandal and all of that, that has not been able to kick off. That work needs to be done. So people have said palliative is not a policy. I don't know where they came with that idea. In the US, you have constant and permanent palliatives. Right. You have it in Europe. It's called the welfare state. So say that palliative is not a policy, it's nonsense.
So I know that we can go on and on with this, but because of our time, let me just quickly ask Ibrahim in a few seconds, because we need to move as quickly as possible. The president has often said that he understands the pains of Nigerians. In fact, there's this statement, let the poor breathe, and all of it. But talk to us from your perspective, how the president have been communicating with the people, understanding their pain.
Yeah, and I think in terms of communication, I guess the president actually listens more than his predecessors, because oftentimes when there was this palliative, he said we're going to give people some amount of money. I think 8,000 naira then. He withdrew it. The cyber security levy, listened, he withdrew it. So he's been talking oftentimes for Nigerians to...
He's been listening,
showing,
basically.
Exactly.
All right, let's quickly move now.
Yeah.
As President Bola Tinubu's administration clocks a year, senior correspondent Sharon Ijasan takes a look at the plight of Nigerian workers and prospects for an improved quality of life.
It's President Bola Tinubu's 1 year in office. On the 29th of May 2023, President Tinubu announced the removal of fuel subsidy during his inaugural speech.
No provision is there for fuel subsidy. The fuel subsidy is gone.
Though the budget signed into law by the previous government did not capture payment of subsidy for petrol, the effect on the masses and the working people is enormous. This is because the removal of petrol subsidy led to the rise in prices of goods and services, which has tripled in the last 1 year.
So many things that the government can do to assist the masses, to make sure the masses get it right. One of the things as regards this electricity is to make our refineries functioning very well.
Workers have been pushed to the back end, that our patience as to government policies and programs has been overstretched. So therefore right now we have no place to go than to resist these economic policies.
During his first year in office, President Tinubu announced various interventions to cushion the impact on citizens. These include 35,000 Naira monthly wage award for workers, release of grains as palliatives, which was replicated at state and local government levels, as well as approval of rollout of CNG-powered vehicles in the country. Others are Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative Stakeholders Engagement, which promised 25,000 jobs for Nigerian technicians across the country, as well as the launch of the Labor Employment Enhancement Program to provide workers with essential tools to succeed in the digital era.
The way things are, we only congratulate him. We pray that he should do more and make sure that he brought life to Nigerians. To me, where we are today is not where we are about 3 or 4 years ago. Yes, government is a continuity, as they say, but the life that all of us are passing through is uncalled for. And you know, in Nigerian mentality, whatever that goes up doesn't come down in Nigeria, except the aircraft.
In 1 year of President Tinubu's administration, his appointed Minister of Labour, Simon Lalong, resigned to take a seat at the Senate as the senator representing Plateau South Senatorial District on the platform of the All Progressive Congress. He was declared winner of the